bullshit. sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drinks, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
We're gonna do this again?
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like we always do it, so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an annoying way to start a podcast or anything,
No,
you know?
I don't think so.
I think people enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think people tune in just to hear us go yay,
And then they leave.
and then they leave immediately. That's why you always notice we've got 1,000 viewers right off the bat every fucking week.
Very high bounce rate.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
and then everybody we're already down to 2. Look at that, motherfuckers.
Oh, man.
Ah, Jesus Christ. See, that's the problem.
jeez.
It's the problem with having
Jeez.
guests. When we have guests, it lowers our viewership because they're here. They're here instead
All
of
my
at home
fault.
listening. It's all your fault.
man.
And Mark's fault when he's here and other people.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you're
Lord. Oh, Lord. Well, hey, this is Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, Season 2, Episode 14, correct?
Correct.
Episode 14. It's taken us a while to get to here. The last month, I feel like we've just been dragging ass with all this fucking snow.
Dude, yeah, I mean, we
It
were going to try
sucked.
it, but it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have been a different show anyway because
Yeah.
we wouldn't have had a Zachary here to help us write a song or really
Yeah.
to write a song and then give it to us. We wouldn't have had that, so it would have been a different show. So we let him plow. We allowed him to do that, take the week off from this free gig he does every week. And, yeah, so he had to do some plowing, but we we just hung out separately.
I stayed in my
you were
house
here.
and played video
You were here.
games.
You
I've
played
been playing Anthem, dude. I've been playing
Anthem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What's
to follow
Anthem?
up, I think your question was, have I been playing VR?
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
All right,
Yeah.
I have not, and the reason the snow fucked all that up too, because I wanted to get you guys here.
Can't do VR in the snow,
No,
man?
you can, but I don't want to. Like, I have to unhook everything and then put it in the living room.
Oh, right.
You know
You
what I
have
mean?
to a full setup of the whole
full
thing.
setup to do it correctly.
Yeah.
So it's something that I still am going to do.
Have you played it at all since the last
Yeah, I have.
episode?
I have, because I installed some racing games.
Ooh, how's racing on that?
So
Give you a
much fun,
headache?
dude. It's so much fun.
Have you gotten a headache really at all from it?
I haven't, but I don't have an issue with like anything like movement or anything.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
I don't get car sick. I don't get sick on boats. I don't get sick on planes.
That's
like,
probably better. I imagine anybody that does have any seasickness or anything like that, it's
yeah,
tenfold
take
if you put on that.
before you put the shit on your head.
Yeah.
I would say that.
I take
100%.
Dramamine before I do most things, you
Oh,
know.
well, you know, the fucking
before
world
I wake
moving
up
on.
in the morning, I always take Dramamine.
True.
Right before I open my eyes and I'm conscious, my body is
Dramamine
subconsciously.
shot?
I just do a shot of it and then I wake up, start the day unqueasy. Unqueasy and easy.
Hey,
Drama means a pretty good Modest Mouse song.
It is a great Modest Mouse song.
Back in the day.
Oh, Lord, it is.
You did ask about Anthem.
Yes, what is Anthem?
Anthem is a new game from BioWare, who made Mass Effect.
All right.
Which, Kyle, I'm going to say this right now. You're a fan of sci-fi.
Yes, I do enjoy a sci-fi.
Okay. So sci-fi and good story, like...
I do enjoy a good story.
I feel like Mass Effect is a game that you should play, not Andromeda, like
okay.
the last one they put out. But I also do recommend maybe checking out Anthem.
You recommend checking out Anthem.
The story is amazing.
Okay.
It's a third-person shooter. You fly around.
Now, do
like
I have
Iron
to control
Man.
like all of the directions of where I look and everything like that? See, that's what I can't ever get past.
But
the whole
here's the thing:
all 3 dimension or 2 dimensions that I'm looking at, can't do it.
It's no different than playing GTA.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm slowly getting better at that.
So
I've just been putting the cheat codes on and doing what I call Supermaning and just jumping all over the place really high, running all over the place.
That's pretty much what this game is.
Really fast.
You're Iron Man.
All right, you're Iron Man.
You fly around basically in a giant javelin that can shoot rockets and shit.
I like that. I can do that.
It's a lot of fun. It's cool.
All right. Well, hey, as we were saying, this is Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. Joining me as always is Mr. Justin Olimpedo.
Hey.
How you doing? You're doing good? We've already kind of introduced you without introducing you. I think if people are listening...
You're cutting back on my entrance.
Yeah, I don't need you to be introed anymore. I don't think anybody needs to know any more about you.
I'll see you guys later.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your evening. This is going to be an odd show with no breaks, and it's just never going to end because nobody's ever going to hit end broadcast.
That would mean I actually leave the house for
You leave the house for good, and you never come back.
I'm going to get cigarettes.
You're going to get cigarettes, and he never came back. That's how our dad left our show. He went out for cigarettes, and he never came back. Well, we got another person that's slowly joining us, and in wonderful, impeccable timing, almost as always.
Where's my goddamn beer?
There's a beer right there that I left for you to open.
To do?
I left for you to do it.
I thought we. Are we drinking these tonight? Though?
Well, we have other beer. We have other beer.
That's
not part of the challenge. That's an extra.
Does my voice sound extra high?
It sounds extra high pitched.
I'm excited.
You're the most pleasant you've ever sounded. Oh God. Damn.
Well, I just introduced Zach or Justin, so now I guess I have to introduce Zach.
Hold on, this beer is harder to open. It's an import.
He's gonna drink an imported beer because it's Mr. Zachary. Weak Pop Stormin'.
It's a Peroni.
Sorry to anyone listening.
What do you want from a Peroni, dude?
I want a little bit more oomph, I want some balls on that.
I want Peroni to taste like pepperoni.
It should taste like pepperoni.
I don't want that.
It should. With the spelling, you're literally missing like a P away from it pretty much being pepperoni. If you don't know how to spell pepperoni, you're one letter off. Now, this week we do, as we've already alluded to just there, we do have a special episode in store. We are doing another warm beer taste test. This week we're going international, and joining us as always for our beer tasting, we have Mr. Jameso.
Hey, hello.
How's everything going, brother?
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I'm really excited to do this because I think this one's going to be the hardest for us because I don't think any of us make a habit of ordering any of these beers ever.
No.
So we're not super familiar.
I purposely, I purposely.
What is the list? What
is
the official list here?
The official list that we have for tonight is going to be Heineken, Pilsner Urquell. We have Corona. We have Foster's. We have Sapporo.
Oh my God! I gotta write this down.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. And what is our sixth one after? We have Sapporo. We have Foster's. And Pilsner Urquell.
You already said that one.
I did. All right. So one other one.
Zach, dude.
One other one after that. So we're going to be getting to the warm beer taste test a little bit later. But that is what is in store for us this evening. And we also have a wonderful featured musical guest that we'll be getting to during our first break. I'm honestly really stoked about that.
Me too.
Kind of wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about with that special guest being Blush. Right. This has been a long time coming. He recorded originally, I think, about 3-4 years ago.
And he was planning on releasing this a year or two ago.
A year or two ago, and then for whatever reason, being the perfectionist that he wanted to be on it, I know he did everything on analog recording. Everything was on tape.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And for the most part, it was him, and I think he and Robbie, Zach Van Wy and Robbie Vina were the two that kind of did most of the actual recording of everything. And Zach is, by trade, not really a vocalist, so this was a really huge undertaking for him to record pretty much everything on the album. So it's been a long time coming. That's going to be a really fucking fun thing to check out. So we'll be having that coming up during the break. But I wanted to jump into something, an experience I had about like a week and a half ago. Okay. I was driving back with Alyssa from Jersey after getting some work done on her car. Right. And it was about 11 in the morning, right?
11 in the morning, you say?
11 in the morning. And we're thinking about where we're going to stop and get something to eat. You know, neither of us had breakfast at that point. It's 11 o'clock, so it's that weird limbo point of, do I get breakfast or do I get lunch, right? And you're thinking, okay.
You get brunch.
You get brunch. That's where you should go.
That's what you get every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday you do get some brunch here. But we were driving around Jersey, and we drove by a sign on the way into Jersey that piqued our interests. And so on the way out, she just goes, so 11 o'clock in the morning isn't too early for White Castle, is it? And I was like, nope, 11 o'clock in the morning.
You passed by Ledgewood?
Yeah, so we stopped.
If you're ready to spend the rest of your day on the toilet.
Exactly.
No time is too early for diarrhea.
No time is too early for diarrhea. And so we stopped, and we're in the drive-thru, and we're trying to think of what we're going to get.
So
and
gross.
No matter what combination of things that we were thinking of getting, the crave case just always seems like the best idea.
It's the best way to go.
It makes financially the most sense.
You bring some home and painfully get through the rest of your week.
Yeah. So that's what I want to talk about. That experience of trying to eat through an entire crave case before it goes bad. Because once Alyssa had like 4 of them, she had the craving satisfied. She did not need to go back really and eat more. I think she had like 2 or 3 more from the box itself. Yeah. And I ate it down to 6. So there were 6 left by the time they were not good anymore to throw out.
How many are in the crate?
It's 30. Okay. It's 30. So I had about 20 of them myself, spread out over 3 days. Yeah. Spread out over 3 days. So only about like 5 to 7 a day. But every single individual one,
I'm on a 7-slider a day.
7-slider. Yeah, you can't have just one. You can't have just one. Mostly because the boxes of 2 are like connected a little bit.
Yeah, they're Legos.
I noticed that when you eat just one, or you eat 2 or 3, you have individual bowel movements based on each one that you ate. Yeah. And they're about the size of the slider, but they are 10 times more painful as it is enjoyable going down.
Sure.
What is happening?
Well, I'm just trying to say how crazy the tricks your brain can play on you after you've been through it so many times. You see those fucking stupid signs on the side of the highway. You see the WC. You see the White Castle logo, and your brain just goes, "Wow, we don't have those around us very much." You know,
might as well
let's get that. And I fight it every time we go through Allentown, and I never stop there.
Thank God we don't have one here.
Thank God we don't have one.
I'd be there every day.
Delicious and terrible for you. And I wanted to ask, what is worse on your stomach? What is worse on your stomach? White Castle or Taco Bell?
Well,
Which one?
Before I answer that, we did have, there was one time where we were going to the movies. Now, it was me, Charlie Eckenbarger, Adam Eckenbarger, Zach Dillon, and somebody else. And we get out of the movies because we're going to Rockaway at that point. It was either go to Rockaway or go to Regal, and we're like,
equal distance almost. Rockaway's 10 times better. Yeah.
So let's go there. We're going to pay the same amount, except for we have to pay an extra $1 in, plus we get to stop at White Castle on the way back.
Yes, you do.
So we get out of the theater. It was like a midnight opening. We get out at like 2:30 in the morning. We're like, fuck it, hit up White Castle. So we pull up to the fucking window, or the drive-thru, and Charlie just immediately orders 3 crave cases.
3 crave cases?
Yes. Thinking that there's 50.
Is there no limit?
Thinking that there's 50 of them in there.
50. Oh, he's thinking there's 50.
Thinking that there's 50.
So he wants 150 burgers sliders
for all of us.
And there were again how many 4 or 5 of you, something like that.
Yeah, there's like 5 of us.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we're all big dudes, but
30
realistically, I cannot. Yeah. I mean, I can eat 6 in one sitting, and that's it. Like that's where my
They're
body
small,
goes
but they do fill you up.
But we're sitting there, and it's like taking forever.
Yeah.
And the lady finally comes out, takes our money, and as we're doing it, I look over and I see that there's a fucking TGI Fridays, and I look at her, I'm like, hey, it's 2:30 in the morning. Do you think TGI Fridays is open? We're fucking starving. And the lady looked at me like, I don't know. Yeah, they're open.
At 2:30?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was just a weird experience. But
yeah.
Taco Bell definitely.
Why did you ask her if they were open while you were getting the...
Because you were that
Because
hungry.
I was just... No, because I was doing it as a joke.
Oh, okay. All right.
You were being a dick.
You were being a dick.
Yeah, I was being a dick.
All right, so how many... You got 3 crave cases in
3
that?
3 crave cases.
So you walked away with... You thought 150, but you got 90 because there's 30 in each.
Yeah, and I think we had 2.5 crave cases left over by the time we were done.
Dude, it's...
And it just sat in a refrigerator until...
And it's a suitcase. It's literally a fucking suitcase. I wanted to repurpose it and use it for something, but I don't have documents that I need to transport anywhere.
True.
Or other sandwiches that I want to hold in a suitcase.
What? Dude, I mean, that's a brilliant idea. Let's make it. We're just going to make crave case lunchboxes.
Yes.
Me, Carlos, and Kara, one day, we put down a whole crave case, just the 3 of us.
I mean, you can't in a whole day, though.
No,
not just
in
one
sitting.
Oh, damn, man.
We rode out
10 burgers apiece.
So his bike, there's when I got the bike from him, his bike was in Jersey. We had to go out to get it to Route 46 or wherever.
All right.
So we pick up the bike, and there's literally White Castle is right across the street, and he drove his car, and I'm riding his bike back. And so we go to White Castle, and he's like, we could do it now, we could do it. So we get a case, and his wife has a few. Sure. Me and Carlos had the fucking majority. Yeah. So I had like fucking 12 maybe?
Yeah.
More than 10, and then got on the bike and rode the motorcycle all the way from 46 back home.
And that's a crotch rocket of a bike.
Oh, I was flying because I had to shit so bad.
Well, dude,
I was doing 165 miles an hour, dipping through traffic. I had to shit so bad.
At least you have a valid reason you get pulled over if they were able to stop.
They couldn't.
If they were able
to. If the cops came up, I would have just gone as fast as I could.
You would have just shit your pants and left it there.
Pants, yeah, there you go. But I think that's what makes... for me, to answer your question, I think Taco Bell's worse.
Taco Bell's worse?
I think mainly because I don't know what their meat is.
I don't think they know what their meat is.
It's wood.
Yeah, there is pulp and shit in there. But I mean, like...
Tasty wood.
It's very, very fucking weird thing. But
I
also, I think to go back, like... The reason that you feel so shitty after eating White Castle is because you're consuming so much of it. You're like, oh, it's a small burger. Let me eat it.
Also,
it's
it's boiled.
It's
boiled beef. Maybe it's beef.
I've been to that Allentown White Castle a handful of times, and I never ordered an extreme amount of burgers ever. Just like a handful, and they always made me feel terrible.
So if you have 2 to 4 sliders, you're
still like
worse than Taco Bell, though?
Taco Bell's really sometimes, it's like, oh man, I made a mistake, and other times you don't even you forgot you had it.
I feel like I've had Taco Bell more times than I've had White Castle, so I feel like Taco Bell makes me shit immediately.
Yeah.
But most of the time I'm getting a White Castle, I'm on the road, and I don't have the luxury of going right there, so you kind of have to hold it a little bit. Taco Bell, I'm usually closer to home, and I'm just like, I'm eating this, and then we are going right back home. I'm going to go to the bathroom, take a shower, and then nap for the rest of the day.
To avoid problems, you just eat it at the White Castle.
Yeah, true.
You could do that.
And wait, just hang out
They should just serve you on the toilet.
That's what I do at Arby's.
They should serve you on the toilet. But if you're at White Castle and then you go into the bathroom at White Castle, you're going where everybody else that eats White Castle shits.
You're right.
And that's a terrifying thought.
Now, what's worse, that or East Gourmet?
Oh, honestly, any Chinese food, I don't feel nearly as shitty as I feel after White Castle or Taco Bell. But you eat enough of it.
That or a bowl of cereal.
Bowl of cereal,
or multiple bowls of cereal.
Multiple bowls of cereal definitely makes it. Anything with some good bran in it, it's gonna make you shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna really make you shit.
The thing that wrecks me to no end is
tell us
Waffle House.
Oh,
because I never go to Waffle House, so when I go, I do it all. I get the chili, all the other bothered shothered things.
Yeah.
And I get a waffle
covered.
And they got great sausage gravy.
Yes, they do.
They do. Yeah.
But you just
get
know
a vat of it and pour it down your gullet. It's so tasty.
We drove by one a lot this summer at work. But they would never let me stop.
Well, I don't think Mark wants to deal with you for the rest of the day.
Oh, I want Waffle House. He's like, no. So we waited until the last day that we had to do the job by Waffle House, and then we all went to Waffle House. That was your reward? Yeah, it was my reward.
Did everybody else regret letting you eat Waffle House once they let you eat it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did.
It's not good. It's not good for anybody.
No.
I mean, it tastes so delicious.
There's way better breakfast places.
There's way better food options in general than White Castle, Taco Bell, and Waffle House, but there is something about them.
But those are the only three I go to.
Those are the only three things that Zach eats, but there's something about them that you just, it's either a memory or just the fact that you don't go to them all the time, and we don't have them around here. We'll talk about a little bit more, but that you're just allured to. You're sucked in.
Waffle House is almost like every time I get a fucking sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts or a breakfast sandwich from like Wawa. I've only had it once. I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. I'm gonna get that, and I eat it, and I'm like, this is fucking shit.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like shit.
I'll object on one ground.
Okay.
The Wawa Sizzly breakfast sandwich that is a waffle.
I have
not had that.
It's super good.
So wait, the bread's a waffle.
Yeah, it's
on
waffle,
either side?
sausage, egg, and cheese.
Oh, I can deal with that. Now, do they do the thing where they have the syrup infused? There's syrup infused. It's like a McGriddle, but it's
I love that
shit.
Yeah, that's one the McDonald's.
I was gonna say when McDonald's or Burger King, whoever, the McGriddle. There you go.
So fucking
that
good. That
was the most ingenious idea. And now when I make French toast or pancakes, I put syrup on them while I'm cooking them.
Hell yeah!
And just like put it right in there and get that good taste going.
I put it right in
Put
there.
it right in
Get
there.
it all sticky.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
It's sticky.
It's sticky and delicious. Oh, well, to totally change subjects, to totally change off toilet subjects. So if you've been, if you've been hating us for the last 20 minutes
Zach
or so,
and the dad jokes.
Nah, sorry, but we're gonna go on to something else. There's this trailer for a movie that I saw that I was telling Justin about earlier,
which I did not see.
Called Yesterday.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
I watched the trailer.
You saw the trailer?
Yeah.
It immediately reminds me, and I'll tell you for those who don't know what the trailer is about. But it immediately reminds me of Ricky Gervais's The Invention of Lying, how it is such a simple idea, and in Invention of Lying, basically nobody's ever lied before, and he just randomly sparks how to lie, and it just changes the course of human history from then on. This movie is all about a musician who, I forget if he gets into an accident or something happens, but while he's like, I think, unconscious, the entire world loses power, and then when everybody comes back from the power, there is no record or history of the Beatles existing at all. And this dude is the only person on Earth who remembers the Beatles.
Right.
So then he becomes the biggest star in the world for writing the most amount of amazing songs in the shortest period of time, and just takes all of the credit for their songs and just releases it to the world.
Right.
And it looks bizarre and wonderful, and in that way of Invention of Lying, that it's just taking our world and just changing one slight tiny thing.
Can I make a prediction on this?
Huge change. Yes.
I'm going to make a prediction that there's going to be a twist in this movie.
You do?
Yes.
Well, they're in the preview. There is I don't know if it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
He's on the Late Late Show, the kid, and he's talking, and they go make up a song on the spot, and he makes up something, the George Harrison song, and he sings that to this girl. And then James Corbett, or whatever his name is, says, well, we have two people here who claim that they wrote these songs. And you see, like, a barefoot person and somebody else, like, walk out. But all you see are the feet of, like, older men. And then that's kind of the end of the trailer.
It's going to be Paul and Ringo?
It's going to be, that's what the idea is. That
Paul was the barefoot one, right?
Yeah.
On Abbey Road?
Yeah, he was the barefoot because everyone thought that's what was the symbol that he was dead.
Yeah. Dead
my
people
prediction
don't wear
is,
shoes.
Though, I feel like they're... Sorry. I feel like they're going to Big Fish It.
Okay. Where
the dude's dying.
Okay. And it's
that's just my prediction.
It's an all within his head story.
Sort of loves the Beatles, and it just naturally kind of goes.
It's just like the DMT trip, everything flashing
in
his life all at once.
Sort of.
You can't end a movie with "It was a dream."
Yeah, you can't.
It's not
you
a
can't
dream,
really do it
though.
anymore, but you could do it as not a dream. This is the last thought, but before
he
died.
It has been done in other
deathbed.
movies.
Yeah,
Jacob's Ladder.
It would be a huge cop out. Jacob's Ladder is definitely the biggest example.
But that's a great movie.
So
if
Justin,
you haven't seen it, go see it.
What you're saying is, it was all a dream.
I used to read Word Up magazine.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's all we can quote of that song before we get sued.
You are very correct. Especially with fucking YouTube strikes and shit going on these days, man. You gotta be careful.
We gotta be real careful.
I'm about to start my own YouTube channel and strike this show for using all the goddamn music that I made.
I think we should drum up some attention for us by doing that.
Okay.
I think it'd be a good way to go. I think it would work. I think it definitely would work.
I was just going to ask you something about
what
a
were you
movie.
going to ask? I don't know.
There's another fucking movie.
Another movie? Another movie?
You know what I want to see?
What do you want to see?
Lords of Chaos.
Oh, yeah, that shit looks crazy.
Yes.
I want to see it so bad.
Now, Zach, explain what Lords of Chaos altogether is, because you sent me the trailer and just said it's Macaulay Culkin's little brother.
Yeah.
Playing a black metal vocalist.
Euronymous.
Okay.
The guy who started Mayhem, which is like... It's like the... I guess technically it's like the second wave of black metal, but it's when black metal really they didn't call the first wave of black metal. It
was just
until like after it.
Was it just Norwegian metal at that point?
Yeah, it was like heavy.
I think I don't think there was anything.
Venom had the album and song black metal. Which
but that was like 83, 82.
Yeah.
So it wasn't heavy metal. Wasn't even really a big term yet.
Yeah.
So the first wave of black metal doesn't really get called that till the second wave. All these bands like Mayhem get famous,
and is that
like,
more
this
early
is the
90s?
Yeah, late 80s,
this
early 90s.
Yeah, this is not. This movie's in the 90s.
There's a great couple of episodes of Last Podcast on the Left about this scene because of the murder and the suicides and all the crazy church burning, all that bullshit.
But they were kids, you know. They were like 19, early 20s, like in this music scene that got completely fucking out of control, and then spawned some of the most intense music.
Yeah.
That you like. There's like you can get into like really like tech death and things that are like incredibly complicated.
Yeah.
But to me, they're not as heavy as black metal.
Well, you have to think about
black metal is the whole aesthetic
usually
of the
one
culture.
person these days that plays black metal, writes, does everything, and there's like
the
kind of like
really
very strange,
anything.
like keep to themselves, lock themselves in the house for a long time.
It's satanic. You know, they burn churches and.
I shouldn't say that for everybody.
Now,
I'm not saying that everybody that makes black metal, but for the majority of the big guys that still put out shit.
Now, this movie, you said it's about the band Mayhem. In the world of black metal, where does Mayhem sit? For people that don't really know, are they?
They're on the Mount Rushmore.
They're like the Led Zeppelin of death metal or black metal.
That, but they're at like top 5, probably.
Yeah.
Like as far as like bands with lots of reverence.
Okay.
You know,
but I think also as like bringing that not to the mainstream because black metal will never be mainstream. But they were
they sell enough of it at Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, I guess. But they were like the band that like brought that to other people.
When
like
Demi Lovato goes down the red carpet wearing a Burzum t-shirt, you know it's gonna
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he's a murderer.
Yeah.
And a Nazi and a weirdo.
He's
Fuck that
like
dude.
Well, I'm glad she's supporting something she definitely knows a lot about.
She has no idea.
She is well researched on
Vickers
her.
is. Yeah. No idea.
Well, maybe she does, and she's like, yeah, fuck it.
She's like, I'm on board.
But she's
this
like,
is what I'm into.
He used the album cover of a church he burned down. Was the album cover of, I think, the first Burzum album.
Jesus Christ.
It's like he burned the church down.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, he went to prison for murdering a person.
Now, okay, so with Mayhem, the trailer, it's Lords of Chaos again is the
is
name
that a documentary or is this a dramatization?
This is a dramatization.
Okay,
wow. Starring Rory Culkin.
Yeah, I've seen documentaries about it.
This is a like a real
full movie. Yeah.
Full.
It looks like it's done.
But Macaulay Culkin's
well.
younger brother Rory, is playing Euronymous.
Yeah. And I did look for just like pictures, like side by side comparisons and stuff. There aren't really that many yet.
Yeah.
So just kind of like looking at one and then going and looking at the other. Looks like they did a really good job. He reminds me of early Davey Havok more so with the hair. and just like kind of like he's more brooding looking.
Sure.
But again, Norwegian early 90s.
Norwegian brooding is like a key quality of black metal dudes.
Yeah, so it makes sense that it kind of has that same feeling as the
you're
guy
upset,
who was like the
you're
brooding
sad.
punk kid.
I really hope the movie has one scene where Varg calls out Euronymous on being fat and eating nothing but a bunch of cheeseburgers.
Really?
Because he gave
documentary. Does he do that?
He will say stuff like he would say stuff like that in like his vlogs and interviews and stuff. He'd be like, "Look, I hated them. They became such capitalist pigs, just sitting around getting fat and eating cheeseburgers." Like he's just a weirdest anti-cheeseburger dude.
When he went to jail, he was like, "Oh, I thought this was going to be bad. Like, this is nothing. This doesn't even suck." He's like, "Can you put me in a dungeon or something?"
Because he's dark.
He's so dark.
He's dark and brooding. He wants it to be worse.
Well, European jail is like pretty clean in
depending on the country.
In Sweden, Norway, places like that. It's not like it is here, and so he was upset that the prison wasn't as horrible as he wanted it to be.
Well,
I think it was.
I mean, they could just drop them off in Australia.
You call this?
They could put them in Rikers.
Old colony. Put them in the old colony. Just drop them off there.
Fuck it.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's jump into our first break here. We're gonna have our music featuring once again from Blush. Yes. You can check them out on Instagram at Blush is Dumb, and I believe they're on Facebook, and now the album is available on Spotify. Again, this is music from...
The name of the album is Wanderlust?
Wanderlust, yes. And it's one of my good friends, Zach Van Y, again, wrote and recorded most everything himself. With the help of Robbie Vina, and then they do have a drummer who I'm slipping on the name, blanking on the name right here. But Zach did.
You call yourself?
Zach played the drums.
Zach played the drums on the album.
Yes,
so for all intents and purposes, this is Zach's music.
Yes.
It is when I heard it initially. I said that it sounded. I called it new gaze, but with an umlaut over the U. You know, the NU gaze. And apparently,
is that supposed to be like an insult?
Yes, in a way, but in a nice backhanded compliment. It sounds like shoegaze, but more kind of just
with like rap over it.
No, not rap. Just kind of
what?
No rap.
The whole new metal thing.
But then apparently...
New it up unless there's, like, weirdness.
But I said that, and then apparently new gaze is already an actual genre.
Is it?
Oh, of
so,
I'm
which
gonna have
is
to look that up.
Apparently that. It is apparently shoegaze with a little bit of weirdness on top of it. Yeah. Well, this does not have any rap on top of it. This is just going to be, I mean, there could be. There could be. You never know. You never know with these songs. But this is going to be the song Weary off of the Blush debut album Wanderlust. We will be back in a couple of minutes. How long is this song running us? 72 minutes?
I'm not actually sure.
We're not sure. But we're going to play this song.
We need a few minutes to set everything up.
We're going to play this song.
It is 2 minutes and 29 seconds.
All right. We'll be back in 2 minutes and 29 seconds to talk to you about our Brunch weekly original for this week before we get to our international beer taste test. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes. Bye-bye. Right, and we are
that
back.
was too fucking short.
That is a short of a song. That is a short song, but I enjoy it. And honestly, I feel live that song is like 10 times longer. I think they really draw it out a little bit more. And that is something that's fun about the sound that he was trying to like cultivate. It's more to fill a room. I feel like when you're in that room, in the way of shoegaze, where you're just kind of nodding your head down. And you're just like just going with the groove. It's definitely more melodic than I thought it was going to be when he first started showing me like the bass recordings of it. Right. And again, for not being a vocalist, the kid found a way to really work with his natural style of voice.
Yeah, it sounds good,
and
man.
it fucking crushed it. So again, that's Blush. You can check him out on Instagram at BlushIsDumb, and the album's Wanderlust. You can check it out on Spotify and other places where you can stream music. But this week we have another Brunch original weekly single. Another. We keep going. We
Fresh off the meat rack.
At this point, we've technically written a full album.
Yeah. I don't know how good of a cohesive album.
What episode is this?
This is 14.
Jesus.
Yeah, so there's 14 original songs so far.
You could technically get away with. Well, no, because we had
two EPs for sure.
We had 2 8-minute songs, right?
And then we do have 2 Christmas songs, so you might want to take those off of the album.
True. Okay, so we can probably go 2 more, and then
2 more. We have an album. If you'd like to finance the pressing of our
album, I figure a full season, 2 discs.
Give us the money. Give us the money. Yeah. You'll get a 2-disc pressing of it.
Maybe season we'll do a Patreon.
What I would like to do.
We should do a Patreon for that.
We should do it.
2 burned CDs on a necklace made of dental floss.
Okay. And we'll sell it for like $6.
That's the Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up Brunch Originals House Band Music for Podcasts.
Yeah. That's what that whole album's going to be called. And we're going to handwrite it all in Sharpie. Yes. So different albums might have slightly different titles.
Because you can carry it and wear it wherever you want. You can bring it wherever you want.
You can use it as a weapon because it's on the string.
You also could floss your teeth.
You could floss your teeth and then use the CD as a mirror to make sure you got everything out.
Hang your used floss around your neck like a fucking savage.
Who doesn't like to do that? It's kind of like when you have your candy necklaces, your candy bracelets.
You get a lot more of other
keeps your neck chilled from the tingle of your sweat.
A nice sweat.
And then if you get hungry, you can eat the nasty bits.
The little food's left on there.
You guys are fucking animals.
And then the CDs can act as plates too. So if you don't wash them, you got extra food there too.
You can do that.
Man.
Oh my God.
So if you guys want to finance this, it'll be at the end of the season a Patreon.
Yep, it's gonna be $6 for the floss alone now.
So we made a song.
$600 for the floss.
But we did write a song.
Just kidding.
Now again, we were supposed to have Jameso on last week or the week before, and then the snow happened, so it got pushed back. But you guys came up with an idea for the style song you wanted to do.
We were at the Cinder. Zach was very proud of his new synthesizer he bought. He was telling me about it, and I was like, you know what?
It's a cool fucking machine, dude.
I had these riffs, and like, I was like, okay, it might sound like this band or this band. Zach's like, oh, I hate those bands. I'm like, all right, well, you got to synthesize. I know, let's do a song like The Rentals. And they've inspired lots of bands since, but their whole thing is like Moog synths, fuzzy bass, not much, if any, guitar in a lot of their songs.
And the guitar they have in there is just kind of slow and steady, more in a bass feel to it. It's just kind of accenting it.
It's there. So,
I mean, they are the guy that started that band was the original bass player for Weezer.
Yeah.
And
it had the drummer from Weezer originally as well.
On the first
really crazy lineup. Really. Well, anyway, okay, so Zach came up with this synth thing. He sent me a little video clip of him playing it, and I was like, all right. I just asked him what key it was in, and then I came up with a bass line.
Okay.
I've been playing bass for a month.
I was going to ask, I never knew you to have a bass, to play bass, or anything like that.
Nope. Well, Zach's going to die.
Zach's coughing a little bit. He'll survive.
Jesus,
he'll survive.
He's got a cold.
Rest in power.
Little cold.
But yeah, so I was like, all right, I'm new to this. I'm just figuring it all out. But I get that it's really easy to just come up with a song on a bass guitar.
Yeah.
Playing it's a little weird because of the scale length and all that, but I got into it, and I sent him back something to play under, and he said perfect, and I was like, oh wow, I did something right.
Hell yeah!
I was like, oh, I haven't like collaborated with other people that make music in a long time. And,
we've been telling you to come up and do this for a little while.
Yeah, I know. Well, I finally had all my shit together to do it. So.
Oh yeah.
Now you say you've been playing bass now for a month.
Yeah.
When did the bass that's upstairs?
Yeah.
Did you get that a month ago? Is that when you started?
That bass arrived, I think, a month ago yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got that.
Oh, I had to do a bunch of stuff to it. I had to reset where the bridge location. I had to do all this. I got it for $70 off Reverb.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And it's every bit
for a lefty.
$70bass.com.
It's exactly what you'd expect a $70 bass to be.
Okay.
It's awful, but it makes sound. It plays.
Yeah.
I'm interested in getting a good one someday, so that's all I want.
But this is a good step into it.
So, and
it's a P-bass. You can't you can if you don't like the neck, just go get another neck. Like if you want to change the pickups.
If the neck pocket wasn't crooked, I totally.
So it's a really good bass.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. It's
well, anyway,
really good.
It just like all the song just came together real easy, and like I just would listen to his synth part over and over, and I just play this bass line and come up with different ones, and then. When I got here, he had pretty much the whole song put together.
Yeah, he had kind of
as far as all the synth riffs and stuff.
The synth was laid out,
and,
no drums.
And, we like usually you guys all take your turns doing your thing. Justin put his drums down.
Yeah,
I put the bass down.
How did you feel recording bass, having just started a month ago and having not recorded anything, even being a guitar player for as long as you have? You said you haven't recorded in a decade or so.
Yeah,
you'd say?
Oh God, yeah, and well. I'm very thankful Zach's here.
Yeah.
Because, he's a bass player. He can hear right away if you're behind or ahead.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff that I wouldn't catch because my ear's a little bit lazier. But he's always recording and he has this grid in front of him. He really knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
I'm a mathematician.
And he got me...
I'm a math rock now.
A mathematician? He's meth rock?
Yeah.
Meth rock.
I'm meth rock now.
Third meth rock from the trash can.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
That's our next song.
Anyway,
we gotta do
you cut him off while he was blowing me, boys.
Yeah. No, he's just like I was really nervous. I'll be honest. Like I'm like, oh, fuck,
yeah, dude. I thought we were riding two up on the same chair for a minute.
Yeah. But
like I turned around and you're just like right up behind me, like, all right, I'm ready, man. I was just like. Back up in just a bit, man.
I got excited.
Appreciate the enthusiasm, though.
It was really cool. It all came together, and I don't know. It's pretty cohesive and fun. And
then you did bring your big fancy amp, and I got to play through that. Even though I only got to play through it for like 7 minutes?
Yeah, I was gonna say you started guitar at about 8:32, and you were down here at 9:02. So in a half hour, you did whatever you had to do to tweak that bass and get that, or to get the guitar set up how you wanted, record it, and then do your regular mixing and mastering.
Jay set up I didn't even get out of my seat.
Oh,
so you plugged the cable into the other room?
I was fucking with the amp while he was playing. I only had to really make one major change to it.
I figured that was better. It's your amp, you know it. I'll just keep playing and you touch
find
the knobs
because right.
you
Zach
know
doesn't
that
normally
amp.
Fuck with tube amps, so I brought over my Mesa rectifier.
I wish we had more. This is like well, I guess it's the 16th song that I wish we had more time on.
Probably.
But God, I wish we had more time on this one too.
Well, definitely from what we last heard, turned out to be. I mean, it's catchy, it's fun. Now, would you say from, James, the last thing you heard before you came downstairs, starting off wanting it to be a kind of a rental-style song, how far off from the mark did we end?
I think it's most different vocally.
Vocally, for sure, which is usually the difference in most of our songs.
You did your kind of
my Broadway
meatloaf thing.
Yeah, my Broadway meatloaf voice.
Yeah,
Zach said have fun with it. I went meatloaf.
Yeah.
Well, you were struggling for a minute.
Yeah.
I was going so high at the beginning.
Yeah,
I was straining. Yeah. Well, see, the problem with this one is I sat there and I'm thinking Friends of P, the rental song. So Friends of P, and your friends, and I'm sitting in my head going,
but those are girls singing.
Well,
that's not your register.
Yeah, that's not my register at all.
You're Matt Sharp's register, which is way down here.
Which is down there. This isn't the way I normally sound.
Good guy for like he's really low.
Yeah, and if I had listened probably to it and not just had my memory of what I usually hum along when I listen to the rentals, I hum along to the backup vocals.
To the ladies.
Yeah. So who doesn't hum along to the ladies?
The best part of the band.
Yeah. And so we worked on the vocals after me starting off going a little too high on it. We lowered it, but then, it wound up being kind of more meatloafy. So you think, for sure, and I agree from what I heard, vocals are the thing that sets it apart the most from being a rental-style song. Zach, are we in for any, I know you didn't have a lot of time, in for any crazy surprises this week, or...
There's one fun sample.
All right, one fun sample.
He also went in and put like a bunch of guitar. I don't know how much of it he kept, but he was playing a lot of stuff all over everything.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I went up at one point and you're like playing fucking Van Halen style solos up there. That was a little bit of a stretch.
I tried to keep just the tasty parts and not the burnt parts.
Not the burnt parts. That's good.
I fucking burnt the toast. But I scraped the burnt part off.
Scraped it right off.
Buttered it and served it.
It was still good to go. Still good to go. Now, what did we wind up naming the song this week?
Well, I saved it before you guys got here.
Yeah.
So, Plasma
Night.
No, Height.
Height?
Yeah.
Plasma Height.
Yeah.
Plasma Height.
Height with no E, though. Just Night with an H.
All right. Plasma Height. It means a lot to the lyrics that don't really mean that much at all. So... here is Plasma Height, our weekly Brunch original single.
There's a Bruce Springsteen-y kind of theme to the lyrics, I'd say.
Kind of, yeah.
Sort of.
It's more your girl.
Bruce,
live your life.
Yeah, we gotta try harder and do better, girl.
Get better. Be happy about shit.
I'm gonna get out of this
Don't
town,
be depressed.
Whoa.
Yeah. All right, so here is Plasma Height. It's about 4+ minutes or so. We will be back to begin our international beer taste test.
Oh, shit.
See you soon.
Excuse me, do you have any imports? It's like...
Don't get me started, no, don't get me started. We're in motorcade tonight. Don't make me fight it, no, don't make me fight it. I'm not looking for a wrong to right. No need for reminding, I'm dead set. I'm finding an easy way out of the shade. Let's start pretending we're better off, not ending and sail off into the night. You, and me. We've got so much more than this to see. You, and me. Got so much more than this to be. Take it or leave it, don't try to deceive it. You've a fire inside you ignite. Try to embrace the feelings you've been racing how with me into the night. No need for reminding, I'm dead set. I'm finding an easy way out of the shade. Let's start pretending we're better off, not ending and sail off into the night. You, and me. We've got so much more than this to see. You, and me. Got so much more than this to be.
All right, that did just end right there.
Damn.
Well, that was our weekly single there from Brunch.
Yes.
Again, Plasma Height, spelt like night, but with an H.
Yeah.
2 H's, technically.
Is that a word?
Height?
Height?
I don't know.
I mean, like that?
I'm thinking the only other height that I know is Height in Ashbury in San Francisco, and I think that's H-A-I.
That's Haight Ashbury.
Yeah, it's like, but people pronounce it Height sometimes. It always throws me off.
Well, they're idiots.
You know what? I am. You're right. I do that.
Bring back the hate. Bring back the hate in Ashbury.
Whoa. That's what it's all about there in San Francisco.
Give me our options.
All right.
Is there an extra pen somewhere? This one does not.
That one does not work. All right, give us a second. We'll see if we can find what our beers that we are going to be drinking tonight.
Well, hold on. Let's get him a pen.
All right.
Don't go in there, dude.
Huh?
We've got.
Preston, is there a pen in there?
We've got Heineken.
Oh yeah, I can't
all right.
Go in there, can I?
Yeah, no, dude.
We have Pilsner Urquell.
I'll take one of those. Thank you.
After Pilsner Urquell, we have Corona.
All right.
James, what else do we have after that? Corona.
We have Foster's.
Sapporo.
Heineken.
Heineken was the first one I said, and then we're missing our 5th one. We go to the 6th one.
What the fuck was that?
Hey, Preston, what's our 6th beer over there? Heineken. Stella.
Okay.
Stella Artois.
I forget Stella.
Because it's so easily forgotten, like all of these beers on this list.
I do like Stella.
But it's like the 4th
Stella.
or 5th best-selling import in the country, which is wild.
I drink a lot of Stella during Christmas. Usually because when Jerry's home, we hang out at his house, and Mark drinks Stella, so there's always Stella around.
I honestly will say, before we go into drinking these 6 beers, I have the opinion of all of these beers. They're all the same, pretty much in my brain, with the exception of Foster's. I've not had that much.
Foster's might stick out. It's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty beer, dude.
But all of these have, as I opened them up before about an hour or so ago to give them a little bit of, shittier taste, I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah, but we brought this up, though. They drink this stuff warm.
They do.
So we should have chilled it.
We should have done the opposite, just frozen it basically, and had ices for it.
Yeah, I think so.
But no, most of these, I think, are still going to be served cold, even there.
Maybe.
Because
yeah, you're right.
These are the skunkier beers.
Also, here's the weird thing about stuff like Heineken and Stella. Those are pretty much largely exports for those countries.
Okay.
No one in Holland drinks Heineken.
Okay.
True.
Like no one in Australia drinks Foster's.
It's it's not Budweiser in America. It's something else.
I mean, is it a brew that they drink there just labeled as something else, though?
No.
It's actually made just for
that
import.
flavor is one they don't really love.
Okay,
it's
okay.
export lager. Like,
I got you.
Pretty bad.
All right.
Like they know it's bad.
So we've got Preston here helping us out this evening. So a big thank you to Preston. He's going to be our pourer.
P Stone. Shout out his Twitch channel.
Yeah, you can check him out on Twitch.
Twitch.tv /P-Stone.
P-Stone.
Yeah.
And he plays games like, if I remember correctly from the last time he stopped by on the show, I think Carmen, Where in the World is Carmen San Diego is the game he plays.
The entire house is a vape cloud, by the way.
It is. And it's a nice blue raspberry vape cloud.
We didn't do the first one yet.
All right, now... Preston's going to be bringing us one beer at a time. He's already brought us our first beer. Okay. As in the past, what we are going to do is we are going to taste the beer. We're going to rank the beer 1 to 10, and then we are going to write down our guess for what we think this beer is. All right? And then after we've tasted all 6, Preston will come out and reveal which beer was which in order.
This smells like Lion's Head.
Smells like Lion's Head? See, now what I'm noticing, just looking at it, there is a head that is sticking to the inside of the cup itself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So that seems, if memory serves me correctly, Jameso, generally a better made beer.
Well, one with a decent amount of phalenic oils in it.
That's the word that I would never remember.
Sticky stuff that like IPAs
sticky icky.
And like certain stouts, you know. When like there's some hops going on, you know, and this isn't a very hoppy beer. It's a slightly bitter, but more like a bland kind of.
This literally tastes like beer water. It tastes like beer water.
It
this
smells
reminds
like
me of
water.
like Bush and garbage like that. But
now
here's the thing:
you
no
give it
matter
a good
what it
swish
is,
in your mouth, though. Give it a good swish in your mouth. and it opens up the flavor a little bit, it's way worse. It's way worse at that point.
Whatever is on this list,
yes.
It might taste like Bush, but it's going to cost 3 times as much.
Well, that's the fun thing about this.
About all of these.
Oh, it's the best thing. Now,
it just is not good.
It's unoffensive.
Honestly, I have no fucking idea what it could be. Even
I have two.
I have a guess. I have a guess as to what it is. Now, do we want to say what we think our rankings are as we go through? We'll say that, not what our guess is.
Maybe give some notes on it.
Give some notes. All right. Like so overall, James,
positive or negative.
What are your thoughts?
This is super watery and ricey to me.
Okay.
It's kind of barely a beer. Like it's pretty bad.
It is bitter.
There's a dirty bitterness to it.
Yeah. It has a word that I will use to describe it. Almost, it has an earthiness to it. That is not maybe minerally. It not like it's unfiltered in any way.
No, I see what you're saying.
But it tastes.
Oh wait, shit.
When
you said earthy, that put me in a different direction.
And that's where
as soon as you said that,
that's where I'm thinking. Flashing back to the first time I believe I had what I think this is. And earthy was the way that Jameso described it when I first had a beer that I'm thinking of.
But here's the thing: this to me tastes way like ricier than that beer does.
Yes.
I feel like the one if we're on the same page,
we might be.
is a bit hoppier.
Okay.
Like, there's a more hop character to it.
Yeah.
I don't really get that in this at all.
All right.
And this is leaving a super dry finish.
Oh yeah,
it is, and
like
I feel like two or three of these,
like
I have the worst heartburn for the rest of the night ever. This has like a light sneak attack on the heartburn. All right, so finishing
Grandpa,
up on the first one there, we're gonna have Preston bring out our.
What are we? Are we rating out of 10?
We're ranking out of 10. That's what I'm doing. One out of 10.
We're giving it points, I guess.
Points.
So we can figure out which one is the best.
You can have your own individual ranking in that way if you wanted, but still, best out of 10, and then we can kind of rank it overall that way.
Then we'll add our scores together,
yeah. All right, so now moving on to our second beer as Preston's passing this out.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, this one smells like fucking Elmer's glue. This is
giving us Elmer's glue.
Oh,
no, this is not.
Elmer's glue's edible.
This fucking trash. What the fuck is this?
Now, once again, looking in on the glass itself, there is a coating of the foam inside. It's not a thick coating, so it has those oils that Hughes was talking about. But I'm gonna assume from the smell, it's not super hoppy of a beer either. And from the list over here, we're not really dealing with anything hoppy.
It smells like fucking sawdust. It smells, you know what it smells like? The art classroom in like elementary school.
Yeah.
It's a very rough beer.
That is...
like dried acrylic paint. Like
I know what this is.
Also,
dude.
at the same time, it almost tastes like absolutely nothing.
Yep.
It has that weird, you're tasting the scent more than the flavor.
This is way
It's a hard one to get through. Like, it's super bitter. Like, all I'm tasting is...
yeah, if you give it a good swish again, back of your mouth is not happy with the taste of this.
It's dirty and bitter. And it's
man.
Oh, Lordy.
It tastes like it's produced as quickly as possible to get it out the fucking door.
Yeah, for sure. Now, compared to the first one, are you ranking this below the first one?
Yes.
Do you think?
Yeah.
1 point lower than the first one.
Me too. I'm 1 point lower.
It's a 2 for me.
You're going at 2?
I don't want to put it as 1 yet.
All right. Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case something's worse.
Something could be worse. Oh,
I'm putting like rank ranges. And
I got you.
So I have like some wiggle room.
Yeah, sure. You can go back and forth on it. Yeah. Now this, I don't know
if I want to drink the rest of this. I'll be honest with you.
Dude, I'm not.
My stomach is immediately turning.
I'm going to drink the rest of this, but I don't think I want to.
Yeah, whatever the hell this is, isn't really that great.
You know what's weird? The one that I think this is probably the one I like the most out of this list, and the three of you are despising it.
But you also are somebody that loves like a lot of lesser beers naturally, so it might make sense on the international level.
Wow. Listen to this motherfucker.
What is your favorite brand of beer, Zach?
Of all time?
Yes.
Rolling Rock.
Rolling Rock. Now, what is your favorite company to buy their beer? Any like an overarching? You're an Anheuser-Busch guy.
Oh yeah,
you're an Anheuser-Busch guy. You drink Busch and it doesn't really faze you.
Oh no, I drink fucking Busch all day and all night.
It's so water,
this
dude. It's
feels
like Busch Light all day and all night.
This tastes to me like International Busch. which is a porno that I think I saw once as well. International Bush. Oh, now
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, is anybody?
All right, I will say after it sat
finishing?
for a second,
Yeah.
and I took another sip,
Yeah.
that harshness doesn't seem to be as bad.
Have you finished your portion yet or no?
No, I'm still there. I put
You're
it
still-
down,
yeah,
and we were talking.
I'm gonna go
and
back
then
for one more sip before we
It didn't
move on
seem
to the third
as
one.
harsh on the third sip.
Ah, that's fucking.
No, it still tastes like Bush to me.
Really?
It still tastes
Dude,
like
it's worse
that.
than Bush. It's more offensive than Bush.
That one's
Wait,
it's
what
grainier.
won in that one? Didn't Bush did really well.
Bush
didn't it?
did do pretty
It was,
well. I think it was middle, but the first one, Lion's Head, I think,
Lions?
came out on top.
Yeah.
No, I
with
think it was
Hams.
Hams came out on top.
And
Oh,
then
fuck
Bud Light
off.
was the number
I saw
one.
smoke. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
my
right.
house
So-
is on fire.
Ham-
It was fucking Preston's vaping up
love
Hurricane
it.
Irene. And
So far in our
Vape
past,
on
we
it.
have Hams was the number one on the warm ship beer,
Yep.
and the racing beer was Bud Light.
Yes.
So that's where our blind taste buds lead us to.
well, not mine because I had Bud Light listed badly.
yeah.
You know, if we
on
ever-
average.
It's
though.
average.
On
though, you know.
average.
You know,
All right.
if we ever do a tour, it has to be just those beers. Whatever
the-
these
oh,
beers are,
oh.
whatever the worst of the best is.
No, no, I don't like it.
That's what
I'm already honestly more upset with the first two of these than I was, I think, on the
Well,
other
that just
two
means we're going up
episodes.
from here, dude.
We are. This is international. You're right, James. So you pay more money for shittier beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
That is all you were
It's
doing
Labatt.
so far.
All right,
Labatt is actually
Well, we could have thrown
terrible.
Labatt in there.
It's
and it would've
terrible
been
compared
better.
to what you would get from Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm sure the Labatt we get here is better tasting than what we've already had so far out of these two.
I would
yeah,
I would drink
probably.
Labatt and its weird can full of rusty nails flavor better than and enjoy it more than I would enjoy either of these first two beers.
Oh,
for me.
Lord. All right. Well, once we
Yes,
get Preston to bring out the third beer, we're going to move along to that. Jameso, your overall impression, though, of the second beer. What is your
It's at
opinion?
least a point or two worse than
Point or
the
two
first
worse.
one.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
It was so offensive to me.
Now, this one, the head has not
smell
dissipated on top at all.
Yeah, it smells sweet. It
And
smells
it
like
does-
Lion's Head again.
It does. It kind of has that. So, I mean, if it's smelling like Lion's Head, are we going towards the more Pilsner level of things?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
You know what?
Ooh, that is sweet. That is very sweet.
Yeah, it is.
Now, it's
Huh.
sweeter
I
and
know
it's,
which one that is.
it's cleaner tasting.
Yeah, it's very clean.
It is very clean, very,
This
very
is awesome, I think.
processed.
I mean, it's a little
Huh.
skunky, like all of them are kind of going to
Yeah,
be.
a little bit.
It has that European green bottle skunk,
Yes.
but
This is my highest rated so far.
Yeah, this
So
is definitely
far,
the best one.
I am definitely giving this the
Yeah,
best rating
I would
overall.
drink. I would drink more of these.
I'm pretty sure I've had lots of these whenever I go to Floods and do the top your own burger and put
Yeah.
all the spiciest shit they have on it.
And then this is the
And
beer
this
you
is the
go
only
to.
thing I
Yeah.
can stomach while I eat that.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
See, that's what I think of when I think of international beers. I think of you're getting dinner. You want to have a good lighter beer. You don't want to necessarily have just Miller Lite or or Budweiser or something like that. You want to have a decent, tasty accent of a beer.
Yeah, this is it's
Yeah.
really
This is the first
it's
one that would-
light, it's
that would go
drinkable,
under
but it's very slightly hoppy and earthy and
Yes.
sweet. It has all these pleasant things going
the
on,
sweetness is what does it for me.
and not
like,
so much of it that you're like ugh in any direction.
Yeah.
because some
Especially-
beers, you know.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't overpower you one way or
doesn't.
another.
I was just saying the sweetness, especially because everything else has been bitter.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
especially after those two beers, I'm just like, yes, thank you. You know what I mean? Like,
Definitely. Shit.
Like I feel like this is a more like if we were to make the 1-to-1 between like an American beer and like its European counterpart, I would say this is closer to like a European Budweiser
Okay, yeah.
as far as like its mindless drinkability.
Yeah.
I'd say more like PBR.
Okay.
I would say, yeah, kind of a
Yeah,
little bit more of
yeah.
the sweetness of that. It does honestly reminds me of Hams.
Or
It kinda
actually a
reminds me in
Budweiser.
that
Or Budweiser.
It's like European hams.
Budweiser-
It's
Yeah.
got like some skunk on it, but
A little bit
it's
of
sweet
skunk.
like hams.
Yeah.
just a little bit of skunk there.
Sweet like ham.
Sweet like Hams.
Sweet mama, let me
Well,
taste them
why
hams.
Why don't you base me in some maple syrup?
Sir.
Now, would you
what the
would you
fuck is-
drink beer that was ham
Time out.
flavored? Would you drink ham flavored maple syrup beer?
Fuck
Sure.
yeah, I would. I
Yeah,
love
sure.
ham. I love pork and ham and bacon.
Only
I don't know if it
because
exists
the
anymore.
There are
beer would
definitely-
actually overpower the pork flavor.
Yeah.
So you just feel like you're drinking a meal.
I just don't know about meat flavors in beer. I don't know how you'd brew that. This sounds gross.
Bouillon. I'm assuming bouillon. Is there pork bouillon?
Maybe jerky. If you threw that into the.
No, you could get flavorings.
I don't know. Well,
you can get like pork rinds.
Pork rinds. Oh, instead of dry hopping, dry rinding. You know.
All
right, I just made it up. Ready? All right. I don't know what my brewing company is called, but the beer will be called The Rent Was Due 4 Days Ago Pork Rind Ale.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. It should be called Abandoned Father Brewery.
Dude, it's already the 10th.
It's already the 10th. You've got pork rind crumbs all over the whole house is just pork rind crumbs at this point. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do with this, but it is terrible. And yeah, a beer that represents that would be a delicious beer, I think.
Yeah.
Pork rind beer. Oh,
I think pork rinds are fucking trash, so you're nuts.
You're crazy.
No. You don't like pork rinds?
No.
I love pork rinds.
Ooh, I know I'm a scumbag when I'm eating them, and I'm alright with it.
I've had spicy ones that were pretty good.
Spicy ones are good.
But regular ones,
salt vinegar, dude, salt vinegar pork rinds are amazing.
I literally would just eat like unflavored pork rinds. They're good.
Me too.
They are delicious. It reminds me of did you ever like make an omelet and then there's just like, or like you make grilled cheese and there's a little bit of crisped up cheese. I call it like cheese chips, where you make an omelet, there's a little bit of the egg chips. That's like my favorite part of those things. So I think that's where my taste buds lie. I like dry, crispy, weird.
That's why I miss the
delicious
pork rind nachos
from
Yardville.
Oh my god, I never had those. They had pork rind nachos,
yeah,
like
pork
melted cheese and meat chili, and everything. Oh my lord.
Wait, do they still have that?
No.
Why would they get rid of something like that?
Oh my god, because people like you are shit-talking pork rinds.
Hey, if you can make them spicy, I'll eat them all.
You'll eat them spicy?
Yeah.
You'll eat them spicy. All right.
Most things I'd rather eat spicy.
All right. Well, we're moving on to number 4.
Yeah, number 4.
This has a rocky,
so much head on it.
Oh, Lord. Look at that. Okay.
Oops. It's a pleasant floral aroma.
It kind of reminds me of the last smell of the last beer here that we just sipped.
Oh, okay. Well, then...
Just in the smell so far, and immediately I think I know what beer we're sipping on right here. This has the green bottle skunk immediately.
Oh, yeah, this is the skunkiest beer.
Well, that's what I was going to say. When I opened everything up about an hour or so ago, the smell in the kitchen from all of these being opened...
It probably smelled like pot,
Oh, it did. It just smelled like straight pot. And it's a funny thing because I remember taking out the trash at a restaurant that I used to work at, and the one guy would smoke pot next to it, and he goes, "You can't smell it next to the stinky bottles." And in the summertime, you really can't.
True.
You really can't. I mean, you can see the smoke and smell it a little bit stronger, but you can kind of get away with it.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. Now, Justin, thoughts on this beer off your first taste?
It feels. I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna give my answer away. I think this is Heineken. Just so you know.
You think that's where it's at?
Yeah.
What is leading you to believe that it's Heineken?
I don't know. It's just super light, but it has a skunky flavor to it. Like
there's a weird sweetness in the back of the mouth that you get from it. Now, you saying that you think it's Heineken, I've already written down my answer for this round. What is your ranking? What is your ranking comparatively to the other ones?
It's the second best.
It's the second best so far?
Yep.
All right. See, I have this tying right now with 1. I'm at about the same as number 1.
See, here's the thing.
Oh, because of the bush flavor.
For different reasons.
All right. At first, I was fooled because it reminded me of the last one. But the more I tasted it, I'm like, this isn't much better than the first two.
Yeah.
Because the aftertaste... See, when I first tasted the skunky kind of hoppiness, I was like, all right, it might be Stella or Pilsner, but... When I tasted that bitter aftertaste, I was like, this might be Heineken, too.
That is where I'm leaning. I'll just say as well, that is where I'm leaning on this. But every time that I sip one of these, I have to keep reminding myself that Corona is in here somewhere.
That's true.
And I don't think we've had Corona yet.
I also agree. I don't think that we've had it.
I don't think we've had Corona
yet.
I
have a maybe on the Corona. It's not
I think it's more
answer.
about
Corona's
the head
not
that
this
comes
skunky,
off.
dude.
But this is making me second guess what the hell Corona tastes like.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If it's skunked, maybe we got shitty Corona. You
because
never know.
Yeah, because here's the thing. It could technically be the one before it. A Corona could end up being sweet.
Yeah.
Because you usually drink it with
it with a lime, so you don't get that straight Corona taste off it.
Oh, we're on the next one already. Let's do this.
Yeah. I think moving right along is the best bet because I want to keep these flavors in my mouth.
Thanks.
Now, again, head
on this.
More head on this. More on this one.
This is the best head we've seen so far.
This smells exactly like every single one of them.
Yeah. I don't get a huge scent off of the head. It smells
so bad.
They really do.
It smells industrial. It smells like the machinery that bore it.
Oh.
I'm thinking I know what this is.
Ooh. I am now... Okay, immediately, there's a
metallic taste.
I was going to say, it's got a hotter feel to it. Like, the mouth feel of it is, like, warmer. Not just because the temperature's warmer, but it kind of... Yeah, is that like an acidity? James, you said it smelled like the machine that bore it. Zach, you said it tastes metallic. That is definitely kind of where I'm going. But all right, I have a base idea. I have a base idea on this.
Oh man, that's a harsh one, dude.
That is not good.
All I have is a metal. I have a metal flavor in my mouth.
I will say 2 of these do come out of cans.
True.
So there could be metallic taste coming from a can itself.
True. Very true.
But
not that's your beer.
Right off the bat, though, with this one, I agree. This is the worst ranked one I've had so far.
Oh man, this is the lowest ranked.
This is not good in any way. Oh, James, so what is your impression on this guy?
It's everything I don't like about these kinds of beers.
Okay.
It's skunky. It's shitty bitter, not hoppy bitter. Just like tastes dirty, unpleasant.
Yeah. Do you know what
metallic,
gives it? What is it that gives something? Do you know that not hoppy, shitty bitterness to it?
Probably the hop itself.
Is it just like a low amount of hops that's still cutting through?
Remember, a lot of these beers are made kind of in the same way some of the American stuff is.
Okay.
The macro stuff, as far as like being cut with shit like corn and rice and corn syrup and blah blah blah.
So does that add?
That adds and also like how quickly they produce, because they have to make so much of this stuff.
Oh,
so you're not getting the highest quality ingredients. You're just getting lots of ingredients.
Yes.
And they're all stretched so thin, and they're cut with other things. But like, there's no purity at all to this crap. It's just like they probably don't even clean the machinery. It's just like whatever.
Maybe not, man.
Push it out. Who gives a fuck? Like,
now you said I don't know if you said clarity or purity just there, but it made me think with German beers, there's the German purity law.
Yeah, and all those beers taste exactly the same. They're the skunkiest, wateriest.
I was gonna say, how much different from one of these? If we had gone with a German,
it just tastes way dirtier.
Dirtier?
Yeah, like
didn't we have one?
Is one of these technically German?
Heineken's a German beer.
Heineken's
Dutch.
Oh, that's Dutch. Yeah.
A lot of people think it's German.
Yeah.
I have an Uncle Heine, though.
You have an Uncle Heine?
He's German.
Is his name Heineken?
No, his name's Heinrich.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if his name was Heineken,
there you go, fuckface.
Your family's really, really loving that beer, I guess.
Yeah.
If you named your kid Heineken. I'd name my kid Guinness, I guess, if I hated
It's better than
myself.
Anakin, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
like Guinness.
Honestly,
that's it. I'm referring to Anakin to Heineken.
Anakin, yeah.
Heineken Skywalker. Heineken Soul Crusher.
Yo, Zach, real quick aside, how cool is that Heineken guitar I sent you?
Oh, it's so... I want it.
There's a guitar on the Facebook Marketplace in our area for $75. It's a green Strat with graphics on it. It says Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
And on the back of the neck, there's a Heineken logo. The whole thing's green.
So it's one that was green. Like in a bar somewhere, and
it was just like a promotional guitar.
That's great.
It's $75.
Oh Lord!
Damn.
Oh, now has anybody been finishing every single one of theirs?
No, I don't.
I have not. I have not. I honestly.
Did you do it? Did you finish all the other ones from the previous?
Yeah, I will finish them at the end. I will just down them.
Yeah,
but right now,
I'll do that. Even this time.
I am immediately from the 5 in. I have acid reflux that was not there to begin with already. I am deteriorating as we speak. Now our final one has a light layer of head, but not much at all.
It's trash.
This immediately
also smells like all the others.
It does. There's no difference. Yeah, I was thinking maybe Corona would be like.
It smells like the.
Oh fuck!
The beer pong table.
Oh!
Fucking what the fuck?
What is that?
Did someone pour Steel Reserve? Yeah, Steel Reserve. Did we get Steel Reserve? I was like, did someone fucking slip Steel Reserve into our shit?
I have not.
All right. All right. I immediately need to change my answer for what I thought number 2 was for this guy here.
Not on the list.
Yeah.
I am switching one answer based on that taste immediately, and I feel like I have to adjust. I have to adjust my ranking on the previous beer because that is so much fucking worse.
I don't know. I don't remember the previous beers.
The
really
previous
bad
beer
ranking,
was
so
that metallic tasting beer.
All right.
I would much rather have that.
Let me, it's fucked up. The highest ranking I have is a 6.
Me too.
None of these are good, dude.
Yeah.
None of these are great.
I only have 1 6. Everything else is 4 or
one
under
is
so
slightly
far.
better than nothing.
May I paint
Yes.
a picture for you?
Yes, paint it.
All right, so the taste and especially the aftertaste of this beer. All right, think about this.
Oh, I'm going for another sip.
The day after the first time you ever got drunk, you wake up. There's a taste in your mouth like someone filled it with their shit.
Yes.
This is that flavor.
Yeah.
This is dry hangover mouth. Like I don't know what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it is very dry taste to it.
Fucking trash on a pony. This is terrible.
Trash pony.
Okay.
Hey.
I changed my answer for what I thought number 2 was.
Trash
based on that being so bad, but now I kind of have 5 and 6 are kind of alternating back and forth.
I
in
have
my
no
head.
fucking clue now. I'm sort of just guessing at this point.
I really don't.
I'm sticking to my gut and not going back.
I'm not switching anything up too much. Yeah, I'm changing one answer and then I'm holding it to there. Now, Preston, not just yet, but in order 1 through 6 what each of them were. What I want to do first is have us go through and each of us say what we think they are 1 through 6 and what we ranked them, and then we'll have Preston tell us what they are after that. Good. All right. Okay. So number 1.
Yes.
Was the one that I said kind of had a little bit of an earthy taste. That one for me, I think, is Pilsner Urquell, based on that earthy taste. Now, I would have switched it maybe with number 3, but I went with Pilsner.
Yeah.
Justin,
Same thing.
You think Pilsner Urquell?
But I'm in agreement with my third as well.
1 and 3 could be flipped. All right. Zach, what are you going with on number 1?
I thought that was Corona.
Corona.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right, and James, number 1.
See, I think that's Sapporo.
You think that's Sapporo?
I think it tastes really ricey.
Okay.
I know that's a rice beer specifically.
Yes.
It's not a weird racial thing. Everyone chill out. No, it's literally a rice lager, and it tastes because it reminds me of like the ricey American beers like Bud and Bud Light and Bud and like Bush is corn, but no, it tastes ricey to me. It's just like a really dry ricey.
Bad. Sorry, the last one was terrible.
The last one, I feel like drinking all of the other ones right now.
This is why you keep a little bit of the other ones to get.
I have a little bit. It's still fucking terrible.
Yeah, I had to chase 6 with 1, and
oh my god!
Right with that.
All right, okay, moving on.
I ranked it a 4 to 5.
4 to 5,
it's pretty average.
I put it at a 4. Yeah,
I put it at a 4 as
well. It's not awful, but it's definitely not great. Not something I'd want.
So we're all right in there. So
the 3.
So there's 2 4s, a 3.
I think you guys are 3 4s and
3 4s.
And a 3.
All right,
very just below average.
Yeah.
Beer.
All right, so
for 3 4s,
because I can remember,
yes,
like I've had Sapporo I think twice at Floods back when we were doing like we got to order everything on the beer menu.
Yeah.
We went around the world.
Yeah. And Sapporo really stuck out to me because it tastes like the can.
Yes.
Sapporo comes in this giant, very silver can.
It looks like the futuristic Pepsi they gave in 19...
It's a really cool
Or in 200015, Back to the Future 2. That's what it reminds me, that can. Like it's
Sapporo comes in a really cool can, but it's like whenever I see like stainless steel looking metal, like the almost gunmetal gray, I'm like, for some reason that gets in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this tastes like metal. I don't know.
It does. It definitely does.
No, it does.
All right, so we're overall ranking for number 1 would be a 15. That's out of 40, seeing that there are 4 of us, all right? Okay, so number 2, I am going... I thought that one was Corona. That's where I landed
I revisited it before we started going over all these, and it changed my mind into being Corona, because I thought it was the blandest.
Yes. Now, initially, I thought it was Foster's because I did not know, so I wrote that down and just wrote Foster's, a little asterisk next to it.
My note just says shit in all caps.
That's a good note for that beer.
I would rank it a 1 or a 2.
Are there any beers that you did not write shit for?
Number 3.
Number 3? Okay.
I like 3 a lot.
Number 3. All right, so finish on number 2. Justin, what do you think number 2 is?
I think it's Stella.
Stella?
Yeah.
All right, and what was your ranking on that?
2.
A 2?
Surprisingly. Only because I went back through and changed things.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then, Zach, your guess and your ranking.
I thought it was the Pilsner
Pilsner Urquell?
Because I don't like that one.
All right, and what was your ranking on that?
It's got way more flavor than this, though.
3.
This is the wateriest beer.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what kind of led me back to Corona, because I don't know what it tastes like without a lime so much. I also gave this a 3, so we've got 3 threes and a 2.
Yeah.
So it's an 11.
Well, you said 3?
I gave it a 2.
Oh, you gave it a 2. So 2 threes. So it's a 10. A 10 overall. All right, number 3. Again, I think all of us are going to have this.
Quick Mets.
I think all of us are going to have this at the top overall. I rank it a 6, and I think it's Stella.
Me as well. Same score. Guess.
Okay. Justin, what is it?
Heineken.
Heineken?
And a 6.
And a 6?
From Switches.
Okay.
So it could... I believe I originally had it as Stella.
Okay. And then, James, what did you think it was?
I think it's Pilsner Urquell, and I rated it an 8.
An 8. Okay. So that's 3 6s and an 8.
I really have a soft spot for Pilsner Urquell.
26.
I just do.
26. Sure.
You know the Victory Primo Pills?
Yeah.
Or like the Brooklyn Pills?
Yep.
Yeah.
They remind me of Pilsner Urquell. I mean, they're better than that.
Yeah.
But like,
I feel like that True Pils is more bitter than this is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, there's more flavor in general, but they remind me of this beer, and like I have fun memories attached to this beer. So if it is what I think it is, I'll be very happy. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot.
I would not be surprised if you're right with it being Urquell there, because it is that earthiness that I remembered it having, and that's kind of why I went with Stella, just because I felt like that one had a little bit more flavor
and
on it.
And it's definitely the beer I have the most experience with out of this list.
Okay.
So, and it tasted the most familiar.
So you're giving
Foster's tastes familiar, too, in a very bad way. I'm pretty sure I nailed the I think we all know.
I think we got Foster's, yeah.
Because I bought a couple big cans of that once, as a goof, because you can get them at the store for like $2 or something.
They're huge.
And
I just want to walk around town with that can in my hand.
Yeah,
like no one will
second guess Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, that's not a beer. This is a beer.
You've played Knifey Spony before.
Oh yes.
No, but yeah, those two I know the best, and I feel like this is one I know.
So you gave that an 8 out of 10. Your confidence on it being Pilsner is that an 8 out of 10
I'm
as well?
betting the farm on this one.
All right. Now, moving on to number 4, which I ranked a 4. I think number 4 is Heineken.
Okay.
That is, I think Justin, you initially...
I originally had it as Heineken.
You originally had it as Heineken. What did you switch it to?
Corona, and it was a 5 for me.
All right. Zach, what do you think that is?
The notes I wrote down for this beer, not in the section of my guess, the note was Heineken.
Heineken.
So I was, the second I tasted this, I was like, especially after having what I think is the Stella before it.
Okay.
I think if that was the Stella, then
that
this has to be the Heineken.
Okay. And what is your
5?
You give it a 5. All right. So
I thought it was the Stella because to me Stella was always like a weaker version of Pilsner Urquell.
Yes.
And I like this one half as much. I gave it like a 4 to 5. I'll say a 5. I'll round
up. 5.
I thought it was Stella. I gave it a 5.
All right.
I wrote hoppy because like there's some hop character. If you can still taste it, there's some hop character to it. But like, there's a fucking lot of skunk, man.
There really is a lot of skunk,
and the aftertaste isn't nearly as pleasant as the one before it.
And we've got that's 2 5s and 2 4s, I believe. So that gives it an 18 altogether.
All
right. What was the overall score for 3?
Number 3 was a 26.
Yeah, okay.
26, crushing it so far, and I believe it will be staying there because we're not getting any better from here.
No.
Now, moving on to the worst 2, I believe overall. Number 5, I have that at Sapporo.
Okay.
That one, I didn't really think of the riciness when I was sipping it, but that one on the metallic level, I thought Sapporo would taste like the machine that bore it.
Sapporo has a really dry finish. This one doesn't. It just has a skunky whole deal going on. Sapporo isn't this skunky, I don't believe.
Okay.
Sorry,
now, what do you have this as?
I put this as Heineken.
Heineken?
It's skunky, it's shitty, it's awful.
I would not be surprised with how bad it is if that's a Heineken.
True.
All right, Justin, what do you have this
I went with Foster's.
Foster's on this one? Yeah. You gave it a 1?
Only because of the metallic flavor. Like, I feel like that big... It's a big can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sorry to interrupt you, Justin, but real quick, like, I got that metallic flavor again, just now tasting it again, and I remember the first time I had Heineken was out of one of those mini kegs.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just tasted like metal and bitter awfulness and skunky bullshit. And like,
True.
That's been my forever impression of Heineken.
Okay.
Just from that first time having it out of the mini keg, and like this brought back that like.
I feel like that's what a Foster's is, though. It's a mini keg of Heineken.
I also felt this was a Foster's.
You thought this was Foster's?
Yeah,
really?
I gave it a 2.
Foster's is way worse than
now,
this.
I gave it a 2 as well, so we have 2 2s. Justin, you said a 1?
1, yeah.
I gave it a 3.
And a 3. So 2 2s, a 1, and a 3. We have an 8 overall. Yeah. An 8 overall. Now, let's see if number 6 can beat that going lower. Number 6.
Oh, it's gonna.
I would have, off the bat, right when I tasted it, having only tasted what I think this is a few times in the past, I think this is Foster's.
Do you still have some left in your cup?
It could very well be a Foster's.
Look at the head. Does your beer look like someone spit in it?
Kind of, yeah.
I spit it.
Mine has like this like.
Oh, wait, wrong beer. That one looks like
chunky, like
yep.
inconsistent head. It looks like someone's like hocked a loogie in your beer. This is fucking trash.
Yeah, it's not good.
Offensive to every sense.
Every sense. And honestly, the fact that you and I both wanted to say that we thought Steel Reserve got that's the sound that should be made in the commercial for whatever this is. I think it's Foster's. I feel Foster's just
diarrhea.
What'd you go with?
On 6?
Yeah.
It's Sapporo.
Sapporo?
Yeah.
You went Sapporo? Okay.
Yeah, only because I remember ordering this a bunch of times and just never liking it. Like, there's some bitterness and metallic flavor that I've had out of those cans.
Did you order it multiple times forgetting how bad it was, and every time you got
sometimes
fuck.
from getting done with work and being like,
Just
give me whatever,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay, here you go.
Now, do they sell Sapporo or Foster's outside of the cans? Like, do they have bottles of them at all? Are they available?
I've seen bottles of Foster's.
I don't know if I've really seen a bottle of Foster's.
I would be interested to taste the difference between a bottle and a can version of those for sure.
I feel like it would be a way better beer.
I don't know how much better it would be. And if it's a green bottle, it's going to be skunked as all fuck.
True. But I think it would be better. I'd rather have just a skunked beer.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be buying it. But a metallically skunked
A metallic and skunked, definitely worse than just skunked.
Yeah. I did rank this a 1.
You gave it a 1. I gave it a 1 as well. Zach, what is your guess on this one?
I thought it was Sapporo because whenever I've had them ice cold.
Okay.
Like
that too.
When I was living out in Hollywood, that I felt like at events, like that were like, you know when you say events,
slightly hoity-toity.
Yeah, like they're like the catering companies always had Sapporo, and it was always in
because it looks nice.
Yeah, and the cans are beautiful.
It is,
and it was always in a tub full of ice.
Yeah.
And when I was 18, and we were like, which one do we want? I'll give you the can that's bigger, dude.
Yeah.
So I remember drinking them brutally cold and being like, oh, this is fine, because it was in a tub of ice.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting one at Flood's 2 years ago, maybe, just to be like, oh, I haven't had one of those in so long. It's a nostalgia thing. And then letting it sit on the, like, not chugging it.
Yeah.
And by the time it got to the bottom, it was one of the worst experiences of a warm beer I've ever had.
But that's the thing with marketing, because that's what gets me every time. Like, if I'm sitting in front of that case, which is by the cubby, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh man, I haven't had a Sapporo in a long time. The bottle looks great, or the can was fucking cool as hell looking.
No, they really
let me have another one.
Yeah.
And then every time I'm like, I'm not doing this.
It's like White Castle in beer form.
Exactly.
It's terrible.
No, but they should take an example of White Castle and make 8-ounce Sapporos.
True.
Because it's good cold. Ice cold, it's decent.
No, you're right.
You want a little pony of Sapporo.
So give me a frozen burger.
Yeah.
Give me a crave case of frozen burger.
No,
that tastes
that's
just
a little.
as good.
Imagine if a White Castle burger was the size of a regular burger. How horrible that would be.
Yeah, it'd be fucking terrible.
That's
dude.
Sapporo. Put Sapporo in it. Give me shots of Sapporo all day.
Yeah, like fucking turn it into an Italian coffee.
Oh Lord! Now Zach, what did you say you're ranking on that one?
I gave it a 1.
A 1. So far we're at a 3 for number 6. James, what is What is your call on this one? What do you think it is? And
Goose egg!
Goose egg. A 0.
Yeah, fuck this
0.
beer. This beer can eat my ass.
And what is this beer to you?
This is definitely Foster's.
Foster's.
If it's not, I'll eat my own ass.
Now you are saying
you heard
for
it
you,
here first, ladies
number
and gentlemen.
3 and number 6, you are the most confident that you have Pilsner Urquell and you have Foster's, correct?
If there's anything from this list I can trust pretty hard, I feel like it's those two.
I feel the same about those two, but my answers are different.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. Those two really stuck out in like extreme directions.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
the worst and the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could equally be one or the other, though.
All right.
Now,
you know what, Preston? Can you give it to us? And if I tell you the number, we'll do from worst to best.
Can I say?
Wait. Can the mics get Preston right now? Can you
Sure. Say
Yeah.
what are you gonna say, bud?
Come here, dude, if you need to.
Can that hear me?
Yes. Yeah, we got you.
Can I say how many guesses were correct first?
Sure.
Yes.
So we got 6 beers, 4 people. I'm gonna say 24 guesses total, right?
Yes.
Sure.
2 guesses were correct.
2 guesses are correct.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh, now, can you do as Zach was saying? Can you give us, if we give you the number, can you tell us based on the number you have it set up like that? All right.
Yeah.
So Zach, what do we have in last place?
Ranking is number 6.
It's James, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're gonna be really upset about this one. That one was the Pilsner.
Oh,
Holy fuck!
I'm a fraud.
Oh my god! This is what I love about this.
Wait,
beer
that got a
taste
3?
test.
That got a 3.
3 overall.
Okay. Wait, which beer are we going to love?
Oh my god! I love this game. We are terrible at this.
I've only had it cold and I really love it.
Yeah?
I don't know, this is really bad.
Oh, man.
I'm not gonna like sugarcoat or like backpedal at all. This is fucking trash.
That is terrible.
It is. It's very bad.
All right,
I'm
so
still drinking it.
What is our next worst beer?
Number 5, we ranked an 8.
What did you guys think number 5 was?
I thought
Foster's.
Sapporo.
I thought it was Heineken.
Foster.
It was Heineken.
Heineken.
Alright, so
Oh.
my embarrassing defeat becomes
Someone had said like they could tell that there was like that green bottle skunky.
Yeah. That definitely.
I mean, that's most of these beers, or at least all the ones with green bottles.
But
Yeah.
that one was definitely. I'm shocked. Okay, all right. See, that one had the metallic taste there to it as well. That was the one that you said
that stuck out to me,
of the machine that bore it. All right, now number 2.
Number 2. What did you guys think it was?
I had Corona.
I had Stella.
I had the Pilsner.
That was Foster's.
Foster's. Ooh.
Well, at least I knew it was shit.
You knew it was shit.
That's true.
Oh my! I am really, really gonna be upset when we all love Corona. All right.
That might.
I feel like that's where we're heading.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Next one that is number.
Beer number 1 at 15. I thought it was Corona.
I thought that was Pilsner. So Marty.
I thought it was
I
Pilsner.
thought that was Sapporo.
That is Stella.
Sam.
Damn.
Ooh. I'm just learning. We need to drink more, guys. We need to really study up on
I'm not
this.
going to drink this trash more.
No, we need to drink more of it
Fuck
more.
that. I'm okay
All right.
taking defeat here.
All right, now, next on for number 2. Or do you want to get number 1? Or how do you want
No, let's do number 2.
Number 4, Preston. I thought it was Heineken.
Yeah,
I thought
me
it was
too.
Corona.
I thought it was Stella.
That is Corona.
Oh, so Corona is number 2
So what is Corona that
overall, which makes what for our first place at number 3?
Sapporo.
Sapporo!
Wow, dude. I'm going to drink more Sapporo.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Out of all the shit talking we
dude.
did on Sapporo there,
Yeah, dude.
that winds up being the number 1. See, again, I thought that one was Stella, so I have 0 correct.
And then Corona is the next best.
Correct.
Jameso, do you have 1 correct and
1 correct?
One
yeah.
correct. All right. I think Justin, you have guessed overall the most correct. in
Yeah,
this game.
I don't think I had.
At like
I think I
4.
had 2 last game, but
Yeah, we're
no,
not really good
I
at
had
this.
4 the first
No,
game.
we were pretty good at the first one. We got it like
you guys were.
Justin and I did pretty well the first
Yeah.
one. I didn't do so great the second one. This one I got We both got one right.
We both got one.
It's still about how familiar you are with that stuff. We all have a lot more time in with the racing beers than we do with the dad beers.
Yes.
And then we do with these, especially.
I think we should do an IPA version.
The IPAs?
Yeah.
Just the
random
American IPAs?
Yeah.
That's going to be, I mean,
I don't know a lot of them.
It's going to be a hoppy night, man.
But maybe we'll find beers that we like.
No, you know what I think? Instead of just like doing one style, or like instead of just doing IPAs,
what if we just do like Yard's whole lineup?
Well, there's like that second, like the higher tier of American beers, like a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Yeah, we can go that. The expensively overpriced.
But like they're like mass produced. Yeah,
the Brooklyn Lagers,
the Brooklyn
Fat
Lager.
Tires.
Yeah, stuff like
things
that.
Things along those lines.
I'm down for that.
So your macro micros, if you will.
Yeah.
All right.
I would also
your
like
big fish.
to do just a German purity law beer.
German purity
law. All right.
Only the.
And then we get into mead.
Then we get into mead.
Mead and barley wine.
I got a bottle of mead when we went to your brother's wedding.
Yes.
I had 2 sips of it and I gave it away.
Dude, it's
so
horrible.
bad.
Oh, I love mead. It's delicious.
It's hard to drink.
All right, so Zach, why don't you just give us a rundown once again of what we have from worst to best for our
you're hearing it
first.
Tonight. This is the best to the worst drinks you should
worst
be.
Yes.
Or that you
worst
should
to
be.
best.
Worst?
Oh, worst to best.
Yeah. Pilsner.
Urkel.
Urkel. Steve Urkel.
Steve Urkel.
Worst.
All
Absolute shite.
Terrible. Warm.
The next shittiest, Heineken.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Next shittiest, Foster's.
Okay.
Australian for shit.
Australian for shite.
Then we had Stella, which is, you want to look rich, but still drink garbage.
Yeah.
Then you had Corona, which might have got the top score, I think, if we had the lime in it.
Yeah.
Because the lime and the Corona really makes
But that would have given it away.
That would have definitely
given it away. I
don't think
it's very good that way either.
No, it definitely
I think it's better than it is normal, though.
I've only ever had Corona ice cold
you
in
put
the
all
summer.
kinds of things and all kinds of beers to make them better, but
You
it
could.
doesn't mean they need them. Corona needs something to be edible.
It's like Blue Moon needs
an orange to taste the way it's supposed to
It does. No, it does. Yes, 100% it does.
I mean, yeah, it does,
still
but I
number
hate
2.
it.
I'm not saying
still
that.
number 2.
But see, at the same time, an Einstock, you don't need to do that.
No,
It just
Einstock's
accents
perfectly made. They have it down for the flavor that's supposed to be.
Was really bland.
Oh, I love
Number
Einstock.
1 now, boys. Number 1.
Sapporo.
Can you fucking believe this shit?
Sapporo, dude.
Fucking
And me and you
Sapporo.
were talking so much.
So much shit.
How much
I never
I
hated
hated
it,
it.
but I never thought it was exceptional.
But I've
I
never
guess it
gotten
was,
that sweetness from it.
Yeah.
I'm also shocked that the 2 that we thought were definitely, or the ones that we thought were metallic tasting, they were not canned at all. I don't think anybody described number 2, which was Foster's, as metallic tasting.
True.
So it doesn't really affect it in that way, which really, really makes me terrified.
It's crazy that Pilsner
Keller,
in a
Heineken
bottle tastes like metal.
That's crazy. And the fact that, Jameso, you said that was your
I guess that's
first memory
You're
of
gonna have to
Heineken
eat your own ass,
is
buddy.
metal.
Eat your own ass.
What did you
Eat your own
where
ass.
did you put
Eat your
Pilsner
own
again?
ass.
You put it as 1 because you thought it had that
Pilsner?
earthy flavor.
Yeah,
so
I thought that was number
metallic
1.
flavor was
Yeah.
the earthy flavor.
That was the earthy
getting.
flavor that I used to like, was metal.
Yeah.
That one. It
But
is
being
of the
cold,
earth.
But being cold,
Yeah.
it probably
I like
doesn't
cold
taste
metal.
as
Like
bad.
go out into the mines and gnaw on the ore.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody who joined us live
Yeah.
here on YouTube. Thank you, everybody who's listening in the future on iTunes and Stitcher for podcasts. I want to say a big thank you to Jameso for coming on and joining us this
thank
week.
you,
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. A very big thank you for Mr. P. Stone,
Oh, yeah,
Preston.
dude.
Again, check him
Thank
out,
you.
twitch.tv//P Stone. Check him playing out My Little Pony games.
Hello Kitty
Hello
Island
Kitty.
Adventures.
Oh my God, he plays all these games and they're deliciously wonderful. Wonderful. He
Are you
said
on a
it.
certain registry we should know about?
Yes,
Nah,
yes.
dude.
He's registered at Target.
Okay.
He's
All
been
right.
playing a lot of Apex Legends lately, so
All right.
if you've gotten into the game, check him out.
Hell yeah. So check out Preston there. We're going to have him at some point in the future as an actual guest and not just use him as a, manservant.
Yeah.
As always, a big thank you to Mr. Zachary
Fuck me.
Stormin and Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Later.
Thank you, boys, very
man.
much for helping put all
Hey,
this
real quick.
together. Yes, sir.
We were talking about scheduling.
Yeah.
what is that looking like? Are we going to go into March a little bit?
Yeah, we're definitely going into March.
I won't be here the second
couple of
week.
weeks off. We're going to probably go for another couple weeks, and then we'll take our little break.
Okay.
But yeah, bear with us through the snow. Zach's got a plow, man. Zach's got a plow.
I got a plow.
He's got a plow. So if there's a snowstorm in the Northeast on a Tuesday, we will not be having a show. But we'll keep you guys all updated on that. And you can check out our other podcasts from Moot.tv. White Wasabi, which will be having new episodes released soon. And Let Me Ask You a Question, featuring Eric, Gregaman, and our wonderful super producer, EJ5000. A huge thanks to him and the guys at their show for doing what they do every week. Every Monday, we do our Moot Mondays. So Moot.tv drops our shows on Mondays, so you can check it out again on iTunes and Stitcher for podcasts. Again, for Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up, I'm Kyle Mocha.
One other thing.
What?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Website coming soon.
Oh,
some merchandise coming
with some
soon
merchandise?
Well. Yes.
Ooh, keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
And
Gotta monetize,
ears
gotta
peeled.
brand.
Keep your wallets open.
Get
Get
brand out
money.
there.
Keep your schedules clear.
Save your money. You
It's
can
coming.
buy a shirt or a mug or
Something.
something.
Condoms.
Condoms.
Cock rings.
We
You know
can
what?
wear condoms.
Let me
Can we
ask you a
cock
question.
rings?
Does have
Yeah, let's
condoms?
do
They
condoms.
do
I
have
think we should at
condoms.
least follow that
And I
suit.
think cock rings should be put out because we are
Yeah,
sponsored
alright.
by cock rings
Sure.
and the Cinder Inn.
Houseboat Tommy Lee Jones cock
Houseboat
rings.
Tommy Lee
It's
Jones.
just a cock ring that says the
Cinder Inn
on it.
on it. And as it stretches, the name gets bigger. It's going to be great. It's going to be
Get
Good
great.
that-
advertising.
the
It'll
train
have the
logo
phone
somehow.
number and the menu.
You gotta get the train on there.
The train
like,
logo.
No, as you roll the condom on,
Yeah.
you just see the train
It's a
logo
big train.
on the side of your cock.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you see him
How
ahead.
many cars is your dick? How many cars long? I get mine to 2. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us. And on the length of my penis, we're going to wrap up this week.
Get it!
And we will see you next week.
Yahtzee!
Here's our theme song to play
Fuck
us
off!
out. See you later, guys.
You guys are mean.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Eat a dick!
Dick
Yeah,
eater.
you're really
Dick
fucking
eater.
mean.
Moot.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be total experimental pieces of shit.